the CDC is recommending that all adults receive the COVID booster vaccine. And additionally, we are also recommending our patients who are pregnant to also receive the COVID booster vaccines. And for me, it's super important, not only as a healthcare provider, but because I'm also pregnant and want to make sure that my pregnancy is as safe as possible.
Yes, you can achieve a college education right here in your own community. Harcum College's ACE program at the Deliverance Evangelistic Church offers associate degree programs that can help you land a good job and improve your quality of life.
I like Harcum and Debbie because I can continue my education.
The teachers are great. The atmosphere is great.
It's all possible through iLead and Harcum.
Call now or check out our Facebook page at Harcum College at Deliverance Evangelistic Church.
We've all been hurt at some point, even abandoned. Many of us have done the hurting ourselves. We get to the point where we don't trust anyone, nor do we feel worthy of being loved by anyone. Then there's that one person who just doesn't give up on loving you. Their love is unconditional. Their love stays long enough for you to heal. And then they promise to never leave. That's love you can count on. God's love.
Hey everybody, this is David Evans here from the PIC TV Network. I'm so happy to have all of you to watch with us a special presentation. I got my main man, and we've been working on this program for 6 months. Can you believe it? 6 months to bring you the best when it comes to the PIC TV Network Fitness Channel. And I'm so happy that I have my man, Brother Carlton here. And I'm telling you, he's going to give you information that's going to just make you so excited about watching the series of programs that we have on here, the TCL Financial Global. It's awesome. You know, Brother Cole, let's get right into it, man. My brother is here. Finally, man. It took you 6 months to get here, man. But you're here. I'm not going to complain. The whole world. And let me let you know, Brother Cole, we got people watching from Brazil. We always welcome our international audience: Brazil, France, Colombia, Mexico, Germany, Panama, Peru, Ireland, Canada, Africa. Dennis is there watching Argentina, United Kingdom, United States, and the rest of the world. I want to salute you for serving our country, man. You, your wonderful wife, man, and so many things you've done. But let's get right into telling the whole world what is TCL Global, Financial Global, what's about.
TLC.
TLC.
TLC, we're dedicated to introducing financial concepts to the middle income families that are pretty much overlooked by the financial industry. You know, our focus is mainly to help the families that's only making 30, 40, 50, maybe 60, $70,000 a year. Show them how to build wealth, you know, and we are spreading so far because we're revolutionizing the financial services, and especially by helping entrepreneurs start a business that can help them change their financial futures. So that's mainly what we focus on. just helping people live the life they want to live.
And
That's the whole goal.
I'm so excited, man, because we've been talking. We became brothers before this network was birthed.
Yes.
And you saw from the ground of these division, man. I was telling about having a Pick TV network and doing channels and have you to help me to build this financial business channel a year ago. But let's get right into it, Doc, because a lot of people, we talking about my situation. Okay. I got money in the bank, and I go back 6 months later. Why is my money not growing? Why is my money not moving? So talk about that.
Well, here's the thing a lot of people don't understand. You figure when we grow up, we're often told by our parents, get a job, graduate from school, go to college, open yourself up a bank account and save your money. Well, people don't understand that the banks are in the business of making money, and they make money off of your money. They're only giving you anywhere from 0.01% interest to maybe 0.05% interest on your money. And they're not giving you anything. You figure that's what, $1 or less a month interest on your money. So people are not really familiar with that, but they'll take your money and loan it out to John Doe, who wants to buy a car, buy a home, or just want a personal loan. And depending on that person's credit, they'll charge them interest on that, whether their credit is good or bad. It goes from 9.99 to 30% interest on a loan that they'll make a heck of a profit on, and then put your money back, and you'll still continue to get less than 1% interest on your money. Wow. And that's how the banks are making trillions of dollars every year.
So tell me how TLC Financial Global that you've been doing, and you have different locations around the country. How can we, those who are watching around the world, get the knowledge and have our money moving with you?
Well, the first step is to just contact me. Once a person contact me, I'll sit down with them, whether it be Zoom. We can't do the in-person thing right now because of the pandemic, but I'll get with the individual through Zoom, and I'll sit down with them, and I'll do this thing called a financial needs analysis, where I'll sit down and go through 6 steps with you pertaining to all of your finances to see exactly where you are. And then once we find out where you are, then I'll come up with a game plan for you to either help you build wealth, and once you get there, show you how to preserve it, and then show you how to build that wealth tax-free. Because there's so many avenues out there that you can build wealth tax-free that people just don't know about. And calling me is pretty much the first step.
Yeah, and the information is right there. I know a lot of people need your services, man. And this is something you just didn't start doing yesterday. Tell people how long you've been in this business, and your wife. You got to give a shout out to her too.
Oh yeah, my wife, who is the other CEO, Dr. Tommy Carlton. We've been in this for some years now. I served 30 years in the military, and that's pretty much what started my passion into wanting to get in the financial realm, because I've realized even in the military, as you're constantly getting promoted, and this is no knock against the military never talks to you about finances. So if you got a person that's making the military a career, and like I said, I did 30 years, but all of my years of being in the military, no one stopped me and say, hey man, look, since you're making rank, this is what you need to do with your money. You need to have your money working for you. No one will tell you that. And the military doesn't do that unless you mess something up and you have to go see the man because you didn't pay a bill, or you didn't do something for your family, or somebody trying to collect a payment from you and they send it to your unit. Now you're standing in front of the man explaining why you didn't do this. And then you have to go through a program to show you how to save money. And then the U.S. has the TAP program, which is something that you get upon getting out of the military to get you acclimated back into the civilian world. But to me, that's more like a check the box. It's not really showing you how to make your money work for you. And like I said, that's no knock against the military. That's just what they do. So for you to know exactly how to make your money work and how to set yourself up for the future, because everybody that's watching should know you're not going to be working forever. You're going to get to a point in your life where you just want to enjoy life. And so, with that being said, you have to set yourself up. And if you don't, once you get to that point, and I always say, you don't want to be that person that's, and I know if you've seen this, you walk into Walmart and you have an elderly person greeting you at the door as you're coming through Walmart. And the first thing I say, well, what is it that she did wrong that she has to come in here and work at Walmart instead of enjoying life? You know, that's the stuff that I look at. Nobody should have to do that. When you get to a certain age, you should be able to have enough wealth where you can enjoy life, do what you want to do. And when your time comes to go see the Lord, you pass that legacy down to your family to keep that going.
I love the dialogue. I love our relationship down through the years, man. And in the midst of COVID-19, we've been through that. I want to send my condolences to your loved ones. I remember you went to 2 funerals back to back, man. And my sister passed away, and everybody watching who lost loved ones, we praying for you and our soldiers over there who fighting for us right now. Doc, we heard the president speak on last night. There's a lot of people sending me text messages now. Take money out the bank, keep your gas tank full, make sure that you got this much of food. Is this the time to go into that? You served in the military. You saw the president's speech last night. What do I do with my money now? Do I panic and take it out, 401k and all of that stuff?
Well, let me speak on the 401k. The 401k is one of the worst money programs you can possibly be in. And for the people that are in the government, the TSP program is just like the 401k. It's one of the worst programs you can be in because the 401k and the TSP is pretty much based on the stock market. So you figure during the pandemic, in the first 3 months of the pandemic, people lost over $100 million before they even lost their jobs because the stock market dropped tremendously. And when the stock market drops, it is hard for you to make that money back if you have a 401k. And same thing for the TSP. Now, the United States is currently, we're over there because Ukraine is getting hit by Russia. What that's pretty much going to do is going to raise the price of everything. As you see, gas is already shooting up. Inflation was already high. The economy is already jacked up. But I don't recommend people rushing to the bank to take your money out. You know, you don't have to do that. You just need to have your money in a place where it can work for you. That's the whole goal. I mean, everybody that's watching this, don't rush out to go take all your money out the bank. Run to the store to buy as many groceries as you can buy because it's really not that serious. At least not for us. It's not that serious. But I will say this, keep an eye on all of your stuff and make sure you're protected and make sure your family is protected as well as your assets.
You know, when I talk to you, Doc, I want to confess that I did take mine out when COVID first hit. I didn't have you around, so I did panic. I saw my money drop from like 5,000, then it dropped 8,000. I didn't know what to do. You know, Carlton, I didn't know, man.
Well,
I didn't know whether it was going to go back up or what.
All you had to do was call me. I'd have told you. You know, people need to understand this. And I know people get to the point when stuff start hitting the fan, people get to the point of panicking. And I give you a good example, Y2K. everybody just knew the world was coming to an end for Y2K. People buying water. I mean, people was going nuts. And then what happened? Because what people need to realize, the humanity doesn't run the world. The Lord Jesus Christ does. And the last I checked, God didn't tell me Y2K was ending anything. So people always get into that rate of panicking. I don't understand that, but I mean, that's just humans in general. That's what we do. You know, now that we over here trying to save the people in Ukraine and you know, keep the Russians from killing all of these people, you know, they're looking at, wow, well, how does this affect us? I just told you how. Inflation is going up, prices are going up, gas is going up. But you got to think, all of that was already happening before this even took place. So why are we panicking? You just need to look and see that, okay, we need to really sit back and look at what we have. If you're single, you need to look at what you have. If you are a family, you need to look at what you have. And you need to really look to see if your assets are protected, if your family is protected. Because think about this, and I like throwing this at people. You have insurance on your house. You have insurance on your car. Everything that means something to you is insured. Your jewelry, whatever the case may be, it's insured. It's insured. But the one valuable thing that you have that people never insure is your life. Why don't you insure that? Isn't that the number one asset you have? Your life. So if your car's insured and your house is insured, you got the FDIC insurance on your bank account, but you have nothing on yourself and you have nothing to protect your assets. So I don't understand that. So what's the problem with that? Can't hear you.
I love the dialogue because this is your field. We've been in many meetings with you, man. Tell us, some of the folk who don't know how you meet once a week with a group. Matter of fact, even after this broadcast, you have a meeting with a group of people to educate about finances and information.
Oh, I have this thing I call boss talk. Where I sit down and a group of people get on and I talk about finances. I talk about ways I go to three systems. I talk about three systems. I talk about the bank system. I talk about the employment system. And then I talk about the tax system. Then once I get you to understand those three systems, then I talk about what you can do to get yourself to a point where if you choose to become an entrepreneur, the opportunity is there. If you choose to get your finances straight, the opportunity is there. So I do this every Wednesday because the people that come on, I tell them, tell a friend about what you just saw, because people need to be educated, because financial illiteracy or financial literacy with people of color, we are the lowest when it comes to this. But see, it was designed that way that when we try to build any type of financial wealth, we're at a disadvantage. And then the Hispanics is just 2% above us. So we're already at a disadvantage. So if I say to you, what does a life insurance policy mean to you? 9 out of 10, they're going to say, oh, that's just something I need in case I die. But here's what I want you to understand. A lot of companies that you see today, Verizon, AT&T, General Electric, all of these companies use life insurance to build these companies. All of these companies have life insurance companies Now, here's something that's going to throw you for a loop. Bank of America, one of the top banks in the United States, have $19 billion in life insurance policies. Why is that? Because corporations know that a life insurance policy is the number one way to build wealth. So if a corporation know this, why don't they give this information to their employees? Something to think about.
Wow, man, I just love it. You know, we're going to take a commercial break. Folks, you're watching a brand new show on the PIC TV network on TLC Financial Global. We have the man in the house, and he's going to have his wife on too, Brother Curtis Carlton from Richmond, Virginia. And this is my brother, you guys. He's one of my financial advisors on the PIC TV network team. When we come back, I'm going to talk about how many African American or Black banks do we have. And I guess a lot of people are going to be very shocked when we come back and talk about that right after this commercial. This is PIC TV Network, folks. Don't touch that dial. You're watching the PIC TV Network Business Channel. We'll be right back after this. How old is he?
Say 10 months.
10 months, and he's got PIC TV at 10 months old. Look at that. That's our brand new member of the PIC TV network, folks. He is so happy.
He is a good happy baby.
Wow. Go PIC TV. Hey, little man, what's your new TV network you're going to be watching?
PIC TV.
There you go. Hey everybody, this is David Evans here at PIC TV Network, Washington, D.C. We are so happy today to have Brother Curtis Carlton on. He is the president and founder of this TLC Financial Global information forum. I'm telling you, this brother is a genius. He has a show coming on PIC TV Network. We've been waiting 6 months to bring this show on, and it's been worth it, man. We've been trying to get this show popping and rocking. Doc, let's get right into this. How many African American black banks do we have in America?
Currently, right now, there are 144 black-owned banks in the United
Wow.
States. I'll give you two. Citizen Bank. Citizen Bank was originally founded in 1904, but it was known as the 1 cent savings bank.
Wow.
And right now, it is the first minority-owned bank in Tennessee, and currently the oldest continuously operating black-owned bank in the United States right now. Citizen Trust Bank was created to serve as the African American citizens of Atlanta. Today, the bank plays an active role in providing sponsorship support to multiple community organizations. That's just two banks right there off the bat. But there's 144 black-owned banks throughout the United States that people just have no clue.
Wow. And you know, when I hear that, man, I'm amazed. You know, I'm in Washington, D.C. I've been here all my life. My mother and father used to go to Riggs Bank. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember.
American Security. You know, one time I did this, Doc, and you got to help me. I was only about 21 years old, and I put my money in Crystal City at a federal savings credit union, and for somehow they went out of business, and I haven't seen that money in 45 years, man. What do you do in cases like that?
You have to try to contact, because you know when a company goes out of business like that, they know that they have people money that didn't get a chance to get that money. So there's a contact. I'm sure there's a contact that you can call to find out exactly where your money is, because your money is just sitting somewhere. You just don't know where.
Wow.
But I'm sure that there's a number that they have that you can call to find out exactly where your money is.
Wow, man, I'm so happy because this is your field. This is what you do. This is what your wife do. Again, I've been in many meetings with you guys, and I'm so blessed, man, to have you on Pick TV Network. This is going to be a weekly show on Pick TV Network. You got commercials already ready to go. But Doc, I want you to talk about our next generation. Are they in trouble? I have a son in Hollywood, California, Stephen Evans. He's out there with Post Malone, J-Lo, Kanye West. My son is in an arena with stars. He does music with Sony Records and the BET. But if he doesn't know how money works, and he does to an extent, taxes and all of this stuff, Doc, is our next generation in trouble?
You know, I wouldn't necessarily say they're in trouble. I would say that our next generation, they have so much information at their hands that we didn't have. That's a plus for them, because you have a lot of people right now that's making money by just sitting home, and that's the next generation. This is what they're doing, where we had the mentality that we have to go and work for everything that we're trying to get. The greatest thing about this is that they have an information highway that we didn't have. So it's not like the information is not there for them to get. They just need to know where to get it. I would always tell my wife, I look at guys in the NBA, Major League Baseball, hockey, NBA, and I look at these guys. Like right now, the NBA is Major League Baseball is on a strike. So these guys are not going to get paid. So if you don't have something set up, you're making all these millions, but now you're not going to get paid. And you living in these extravagant lifestyles. You got these sports cars, you got these mansions and all this, but now you ain't getting a check. So if you don't have something set up to cover the time that you're not playing ball, what are you going to do? And that's the same thing. You can't play sports forever. At some point in your life, you're going to have to call it quits. Now, I know a lot of agents ain't doing that, because if that was the case, Antonio Walker wouldn't be where he's at. Allen Iverson wouldn't have been where he was at. and Allen Iverson is one of our own. If it wasn't for Reebok, he probably would have been broke, but Reebok looked out for him. So one thing I say about this new generation that's coming up, they have to seek the information. Some people just don't know where to go, and some people are so comfortable in what they're doing, they're scared to even ask the question, what should I do with my money? What do you recommend? Because people think that to talk to a financial professional or a financial advisor, you got to pay all this money to talk to them. And I tell people today, you don't have to pay a dime to talk to me, because my only goal is to educate you. You don't have to pay not 1 cent to sit down and talk to me, because at the end of the day, the goal is to get you where you need to be. That way you're able to enjoy life down the line. That's what it's all about. Can't hear you.
This is so amazing. I wanted to make sure you heard. This is so amazing because, when I talked to you, Brother Carlton, man, you helped me, and I want to say thank you again for making some wise decisions where I'm at today. But there's so many people out today who need services, who need your services and need information and just didn't know. And through this program that you have going on through Pick TV Network and our business channel today, educating folks, this is big, man. And I'm so excited because our television network is a network that's out to help people, to bring inspiration, to bring information, to bring education and entertainment. This is what Pick TV Network was all about. And when we first started it, I was telling you how we wanted to build this, and I need you to help me to build this channel.
Right.
Doc, tonight, what are you going to talk about in your meeting with the folk tonight?
Like I said, I'm gonna go over the 3 systems: the bank system, the employment system, and the tax system. And then once I go through that, I'm going to talk about things that you should do as a person with your money. Just to give you one, how many people that pay themselves first? Not too many people do that, because when people get paid, the first thing they do is, let me pay all my bills. Let me pay this, let me pay that, the mortgage, the car payment, the phone bill, everything. And then once they're done paying all their bills and they see what's left, if there's anything left, there's really nothing else that they can do. So step 1, people need to learn to pay themselves first. And if you're not used to doing that, then it'll be hard for you to do it. But see, people need to understand wealth isn't built through money. Wealth is built through a mindset. The first thing you need to do is change your mindset, and if you don't change your mindset, you'll never become wealthy, and I get it. The extent of my financial knowledge from my parents, like I said, was graduate from high school, go to college, get a job, open up a bank account, get yourself a checking and savings, and save your money. But see, that's before I even knew what banks did. Banks are in the business of making money. This is just what they do. And they use your money to make money. That's why banks makes trillions every year and give you nothing. Think about this. In 2020, the banks gave $44.45 interest per account per year. For 2021, it was $73.85 per account per year. Come on, man. And like I said, JP Morgan made $2.9 trillion. And come on, man, that's less than $100 of interest you got on your money. And that's for anybody that has an account in JP Morgan. That's sad. But that's just a few of the things that I'll cover. I feel this is information people need to know. They just need to know.
When I hear you, Doc, with the passion and the love and the conviction that you're speaking from, and I just want to say thank you, because we need this. You know, we need to know exactly where our money is going. There's a lot of people watching right now, and they're going to continue to watch the repeat because we're going to play this over and over again. There was something you had talked to me about over the summer with the pastors. You wanted to bring the pastors together and churches together. And I think we talked to a couple of my pastors. Can you just elaborate a little bit about that vision? Because we may rebirth that.
Yeah. This was just a passion of mine. I know one thing: if you're trying to reach a community, church is the first place you go. But in order to talk to a church, you have to talk to the head person of the church, which is usually the pastor. And this was my vision. Talk to the pastors and tell the pastors, you know, because if I can get your congregation to the point where everybody in your congregation is building wealth, they will give more to the church. In turn, the church can do more for the community. So if your congregation is prospering and the church is prospering, the church can do more for the community will give back. And it's just a never-ending cycle. And this is one of the things that I wanted to do with all of the pastors. And like 4 of the pastors that you sent my way came and talked to me. But then there's a lot of other pastors out there that didn't. So, you know, I don't want the pastors to think, you know, that I'm trying to move in to their church and change things in their church. No, that's not what I'm doing. My only goal is to help your congregation, because one thing I know about pastors, the congregations are not going to tell the pastors everything, especially if you're having money problems. They're not going to tell the pastor, hey, you know, it's hard for me to do this, I can't pay that. But they'll give what they can because of their faith in the Lord, you know, and I understand that. But like I said, that's my vision. If I can help your congregation will get to a point where they'll give more to the church. The church can then do more for the community, and then the community will turn around and give back because the churches are out there. Now, I'm not saying that for all churches. You know, the pastors know what churches are out there and what churches are doing for the community, you know, but this is just the vision that I have. And I still have that vision. And I pray that it's going to come to light. And I know that it will. It's just when God says, okay, now it's time to do this, you know, he'll send the pastors my way. So that's what I was trying to get out to the pastors, you know.
Man, I love that, man. And I believe God works in times, seasons, and transitions. And we're going to rebirth that right through this. Again, we have pastors watching this right now, and especially going through the rebuilding of opening churches up. And, you know, there's a lot of pastors, and I want to say this, Brother Carlton, a lot of pastors, man, especially struggling, have a decline in funds, a decline in memberships, and not going back to the brick and mortar. But they still want to do virtual ministry, and those who in the brick and mortar still trying to rebuild. Now, are you saying that you have something in system that's going to be in place to help that to happen in a prosperous way?
Yes, I mean, you have to think the congregation makes the church, and the pastor is a messenger. You know, he gets a word from God to give to the people, but the congregation makes the church. So whether you're in a brick and mortar or whether you're doing this through video, you know, you still have your people that's watching you that still comes to your church to get that message that was given to you. If you take care of your people and lead them to where they need to go, where they can get all of their stuff in order, they will give more to the church. And like I said, the church can do more for the community, especially churches of color, because you see our communities. We need help bad. And who not but the men of God to help our communities? You know, I will listen to a pastor quicker than I would just listen to a regular person on the street, because that's a man of God. So of course I'm going to listen to that person. But if you help, like I said, whether you're in the brick and mortar or whether you're on video, if you help the congregation, you will see a difference in your church, because your congregation will do more. You know, you have people that just really can't do but so much because of the situation that they're in. And they don't know who to come to try to fix their situation. You know, their credit may be bad and they don't know how to rebuild their credit, you know, or they have so much debt, they really don't know how to get from under it. You know, that's what we do. We help people in all of those situations. So there you go.
Man, that is so amazing. Folks, you're watching the Pick TV Network. Those are watching on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Pick TV Network Live, and our international audience in Brazil, France, Colombia, Mexico, Germany, Panama, Peru, Ireland, Canada, Africa, Argentina, United Kingdom, United States, and the rest of the world. You listen to the man who's in great demand. This is Brother Curtis Carlton. He is the president, founder, CEO of the TLC Financial Global Movement. Carlton, I want to ask you a couple of more questions before we close. I can't wait to come back. Financial credit. Debt, easy to get into, hard to get out of. When I was just coming out of college, man, MasterCard, Visa, American Express, Discover, all of them, man, sending me cards. You've been approved. You've been approved. I didn't even have no money, man. They said, you've been approved.
Think about this. The world revolves around debt. If I'm in debt and I know that there's so many people I have to pay, I can't afford not to take a day off of work because I need to pay this person. Or I need to pay this person, and bill collectors constantly calling you, when you're going to pay this, when you're going to pay that. But there are things that we can do to get you to that point where they're not calling you. You pay what you can pay. People don't understand that. If Capital One is constantly calling me because I owe them $1,000 for a card that I have, and I really can't pay them what they want, then we have people that will look at your debt, set up a plan for you to eliminate your debt, and then all the money that you were using to get rid of your debt, once your debt is gone, that's money that you could put away and have work for you. And just keep putting that money away and constantly having that money work for you. But people just don't know where to go. You know, colleges in the United States is designed for people to come out of school in debt. Think about it. You have grants that are free, and you have grants that you have to pay. You have financial aid. You have so many programs to get you in college and get money to pay for your college, but then you have to pay it back. So once you graduate, you already coming out of college with so much debt, you're trying to keep your head above water. But now, today, sometimes a college degree ain't enough. You got to have a little more than that now. Like my wife has 2 PhDs. She's a doctor, you know, but today a master's degree ain't even enough. You know, so what are you going to do? Because now, for whatever you went to college for, you know, you have to find a job in your field that's going to pay you what you think you worth. For 9 out of 10, that ain't going to happen. But you'll get some type of decent wages. And now that you're making money, you still got this college debt that's just lingering over your head that ain't going to go away. And the interest getting built up on that debt is constantly building every month, because that's what the government does. And a $20,000 college loan then turned to $60,000 within a matter of months, you know? And now you sitting here looking at, man, how am I going to pay this? I just started working. And they blowing your phone up. Hey, when you going to start paying off your college loans? You know, so now you already fighting to keep your head above water. But we have ways of helping people to get from under that debt.
It's so amazing, Brother Carlton, because when I think about what you guys are doing, man, and I'm a partner with you guys, man, and do whatever we can to help Pick TV Network to get our business channel out there to educate, inform, instruct, and help folk. Rebuilding credit, again, easy to get into, hard to get out. There was one time when I was in a situation, and I'll be 90 years old before I get out,
Yeah, I understand.
And then we got to talk about bankruptcy. When is a good time? Should you ever do that? Should you ever file? I want to ask you about, should you ever co-sign? There's so many things I want to ask you, man. When we come back on the next segment, man.
Yeah, let's get into that, because that's a whole nother ball game right there.
Yeah. And I believe, don't play the game until you know the rules. And I'm gonna ask you, how much money does the black dollar? What about the black dollar? When it goes out of our community, where does it go? And when do we see a return on that? We see our Chinese brothers invest. They'll serve you shrimp fried rice and mumbo sauce and fried wings, but they won't buy nothing. They won't buy a belt from us, man. They keep everything together. And how many trillions of dollars? I want to ask you, how many trillions of dollars come out of the black community? We just celebrate Black History Month.
Well, think about this. When it comes to last year, the black community spent $64 trillion. This is how much money we spent last year. We were number one in sales when it came to buying merchandise. We were number one. But when it comes to businesses, real estate, ownership, we're nowhere to be found. We're last. That's wrong answer. That's wrong answer. And the money that was spent wasn't even spent in black-owned stores. Gucci is fine, but we'll spend money on Gucci. The Gucci family is great, but we'll spend money on it. And they laughing all the way to the bank. Tommy Hilfiger, he's happy, he good, but we'll spend money on it. But we don't have no real estate. We don't have no company or no kind of businesses. We're last in all of that. And like I said, the Hispanics are just 2% above us. And it's horrible, because it shouldn't be that way. It should be an even playing field across the board, but it's not. It was designed that way. So, I mean, that's another segment all in itself, So I get it.
I just can't believe it, man. You said $61 trillion. I can't even imagine that, man, going out of our community, and how much came back. Like you're saying, it's unbelievable.
It is.
It's unbelievable, folks. We are so happy today that we have the man and great man, Brother Curtis Carlton. He is going to bring forth new information to us about finances and saving, and he's going to be on our flagship channel, the Pick TV Network Business Channel. You want to watch the replay. We're going to have new shows coming on every week, You'll see if it's commercials coming on. I can't wait to bring your wife on, man. You got to give a shout out to the kids. Give a shout out to her, man, and the kids, Doc. You got to give a shout out. They're going to be watching this.
Definitely bring my wife on so she could speak on some of these topics as well.
Yeah, man. I love you, man, because you say what you mean what you say, Doc. You're a man of few words, but what you say is so big and so important, man. And again, I want to thank you for serving our country, in the military and the years that you spent, man. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the president's speech when we come back and on how we can help our brothers and sisters who serving today, man. My prayers are with every family and every parent who has kids even considering going. I'm going to ask you, do you think the draft is going to come back? This is a whole bunch of questions we got to go over, man, in this segment, folks. You're watching a brand new hit show on the Pick TV network on the Business Channel. Our brother. Now tell everybody, if they want to contact you, if they want to get into next Wednesday session with you, is there a cost? Is this the information they call?
No, there's no cost. You can either go to my website, which is tlcfinancialglobal.com/contact, and you can fill out your information there. Or you can just contact me at 757-675-2427. I do this every Wednesday at 8 o'clock, and it's called Boss Talk. I welcome any and everybody. Tell your friends about it. Everybody needs to get on because all I talk about is finances and how to better your finances. And if you're one of those people that desire to become an entrepreneur, you need to be on here. This is strictly for you. People don't really understand the impact of you becoming your own boss. There's so many perks to becoming an entrepreneur. And if you can get that in your head and just keep that in your mind, think about it. And I don't want to knock what you do. If you're working a 9 to 5, I think that's great. But when you look at the nuts and bolts of everything, you're trading your time for money. Think about it. You're trading your time for money. So the benefits of becoming an entrepreneur is greater than you can possibly imagine. I'm telling you, it's so many perks to becoming an entrepreneur. And it's something every person, I don't care what color you are, what creed, none of that. Every person needs to think about becoming an entrepreneur because there's so many benefits to being that. So, you have my information. You can contact me if you want to sit and talk. I want to hear where your head at. I want to hear where your ideas are. I want to know what your mindset is. I mean, let's talk about it. It costs you nothing to talk to me. I don't charge nobody no consultation fee or nothing. You call me, we'll talk. We'll set up a schedule when you're free and we'll talk. That's what it's all about. It's all about education. Reach one, teach one. That's what it's about.
I'm blown away, man. When I'm thinking about, I'm still thinking about this 51.
That's so true. That's so true.
I'm locked in on it. What in the world, man? How in the world, Doc?
That's what we do, man. We spend money. We spend money. But I mean, when you look at the nuts and bolts of everything, we don't own a lot of real estate. We don't own a lot of businesses. People still today cannot believe that there's Black-owned banks. When I mention that to people, they look at me like, I ain't no Black-owned banks. Yeah, brother, it's 144 of them. You just don't know which they are. We spend money. That's one thing that people of color will do. We will spend money. But you have to be aware of what you're spending your money on and where you're spending your money. Because you have wants and you have needs.
Man,
don't let your wants outdo the needs.
I can't wait till we get back. I want to ask you about the Black Wall Street. I want to get into that aspect of it, man.
I love Black Wall Street. I love it.
See, but people think we're talking about the Georgia and the ones they're building now, but you got a whole different twist on this thing, man. Give us 1 second. Give us 1 minute of, brother Doc. Give us 1 minute of it.
Okay. Black Wall Street, during that time, you figure racism was at an all-time high. Lynching of people of color was a regular thing. And you have to think Tulsa, Oklahoma was 35 blocks of Black-owned businesses. And all of those owners were millionaires. Think about that. And think about the time that all this happened. They were prosperous. The money would circulate in that town almost 50 to 75 times before it even went outside of that city. You had car dealerships, you had movie theaters, you had banks, schools, doctor's office, dentist offices, and the high school and elementary schools that they had, they made sure they taught the kids about finances. That was a mandatory class. So you think about all this. They had a hospital, all of this in that town. That town was very prosperous. And I never look at the tragedy because we know why the tragedy happened. I look at what these people accomplished in a time where it was hard for us to do anything. And that's what I focus on when I talk about Black Wall Street. I've read so many books on Black Wall Street. I just love every bit of that story. So I talk about it all the time because my vision is to build Black Wall Streets in every state. So if another tragedy happened, like the original Black Wall Street, you have 49 other states that'll build that one right back up. And it ain't going nowhere. So that's just my mindset.
I cannot. I'm telling you, folks, this is going to be one of the hottest shows on Pick TV Network because we're educating folk, and I know we got to run. Doc, I'm just blown away, man. A million is 1 trillion. Million is 1 trillion, and 61 trillion gone from our community. When we come back, I want to talk about why is there so many people moving in our community, opening up restaurants like, up the street from my house. We're not there, but people are serving, ribs and chicken and hip hop fish, and I'm walking in saying, "Oh, what's up, soul brother? Wait a minute, hold up. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I thought this was, and then, looking at this, man, I'm like, what? And then I go to the next store and it's the same thing, I guess people are researching and finding out, what we eat, what we like, and selling it to us, but it's not us buying it.
Nope. But we spend the most money. So why not build a business that catered to us? We spend the most money.
Big folks.
They do. This is what they do.
Folks, we have to leave this segment. I know everybody's saying more. We want more. But we're going to give you more here on the Pick TV Network, Doc. I'm so happy again for everybody who's been watching the show today. We are so happy again. This brother has been amazing, to teach us and train us and instruct us on where we're going to go here, how we're going to save our money. I want to have more at the end of this year than I had last year. I don't want to spend more. I want to save more. And I definitely want you to come back. We talk about part 2 about the 401k. I want to hear your convictions on, because you said something real deep, Doc, that it was one of the worst. And I thought, this was one of the biggest savings things. You're gonna get a lot of people out of hot water, bro. Hey, we gotta get ready to go to this meeting, folks. If you want to come and talk to my brother Carlton. If you want to be a part of the meetings, you can call 757-675-2427. It don't cost you nothing but a dial. You can come and get some good information. And if you want to be a part of this False Talk, this is the man right here with the plan. Doc, I want to get some of this 61 trillion coming back our way, bro. A million.
You start with the churches, man. That's where it starts.
Wow. I'm going to call my pastors up. I got a whole list of that. We're going to reverse some things. Hey, thank you for watching the Pick TV Network, folks. We're going to be back next week with some more information, and you cannot miss this brand new show. Tell everybody about the Pick TV Network Business Channel, this hot show we got coming out. Thank you again for watching with us, Brazil, France, Colombia, Mexico, Germany, everybody around the world tuned into a brand new show on Pick TV Network. All right, Doc, we'll see you next time, man. God bless you.
God bless.
Smile upon you. Thank you. That is amazing. How old is he?
Say 10 months.
10 months, and he's got Pick TV at 10 months old. Look at that. That's our brand new member of the Pick TV Network, folks. He is so happy.
He is a good happy baby.
Wow. Go Pick TV.
Yeah. It's my new single, Queen. Currently a top 10 record. We're going for #1, Love, Sex, and Passion. It's dedicated to all the women, whatever your walk of life is, your color, your creed. You're my queen. Oh yeah, yeah. You're a nurturer and a superwoman. You're every dawn of that becomes a mother. You can be my rock to the highest mountaintop. From my head to my toes, to cherish, love, and hold. You're my queen. Oh yeah, yeah. You gave birth to all the land. You're the backbone of every man. You're my queen. You wear the crown and wear it well. I hold my head high so you can tell you're my queen. My queen. Ooh, you're my queen. Yeah, yeah, forever. You're a nurturer, and just like grandmas do. You're that push, you're that voice for all I dream to do. So I cherish you like royalty. And by all means, I'll never put my hands on thee. 'Cause you're my queen, queen. You gave birth to all the land. You're the backbone of every man. You're my queen. You wear the crown and wear it well. I hold my head high so you can tell you're my queen. If you a queen, keep your head up. Hard times, keep your head up. If you a queen, keep your head up. You can do it, baby. Keep your head up. If you a queen, put your head up. Queen, keep your head up. Forever, ever, ever. I never wanna be your enemy. Love me with sensitivity. So you a grown, strong woman, and I never wanna call you out your name. See, man made this and man made that. To the end of time, it's a well-known fact. Behind every woman, behind every man is a woman, a strong woman, and the virtue of a woman. 'Cause you're my queen, baby. Yes, you are. And you gave birth to the land. You're the backbone of every man. You're my queen. You gave birth to all the land. You're the backbone of every man. You're my queen. You gave birth to all the land. You're the backbone of every man. You're my